Alright, yo guys, what's good? My name is Senpai. Welcome back to Senpai FGC. As you guys can see, we're playing some Dragon Ball FighterZ today, but we're not actually doing any kind of online matches or anything like that. Today we're going to be talking about loops, and more specifically, the Goku Blue loops. Now, loops have been in Dragon Ball FighterZ for a good while, and more are getting discovered. But today's loops are actually about Goku Blue's loops. Now, I actually just recently started learning these and have been having a bit of a tough time with them. I'm kind of getting the idea of it, but this video is essentially to kind of help someone along the way, and if I can offer any kind of help, hopefully do that. So I actually started originally learning loops with base Vegeta. I also tried to learn the Gohan leg loops, got kind of far into there, but it just really wasn't sticking. The only version of Vegeta's loops that I actually learned was the corner loops, the grounded ones. Now there is some timing with the grounded Vegeta loops, but it's not as demanding as the other loops. You more or less get the idea. That's not what this video is actually about. I also tried to learn the air loops as well, but struggled with these quite a bit actually. I could only get about one repetition, sometimes very rarely two. But let's switch into Goku Blue here. So the biggest thing I found out with Goku Blue's timing is the most important thing was the delay of the Ki Blast and the delay of the second tackle. So I actually learned these on PS4, we're on PC right now, so my timing might be a little bit off, so I just need to get warmed up really quick. Alright, so that was more or less the loops. I actually don't know if I can get another repetition in there. But as I said, the biggest thing that kind of helped me on my way was learning that there needs to be a certain delay on the Ki Blast and a certain amount of time for the tackle. And then that's when you can get your repetition with the light and then the jumping two lights. Yeah, this actually took a while, and I think it is because of the transition between PS4 and now PC. I always didn't think it would matter that much, but I feel like I would have gotten it a lot quicker on PS4 because I'm used to that delay. So something interesting I wanted to talk about was actually I started learning these on controller. I play on Hitbox. Playing on controller actually kind of helped me understand the mechanics of like needing to delay the Ki Blast and what I needed to delay for the tackle. It just made understanding these concepts to me seem a little bit easier. Maybe it's the other way around, but actually playing on Hitbox helped me create like a rhythm for myself because I could audibly hear the timing that I'm doing. I did put 1 frame of delay in training mode. I know that sounds really weird, like why would you want delay? But when you're so used to that, like whatever amount of input delay, you're just used to it, bro. So I'm gonna break this down as best as I can. Obviously, I'm still very much learning them myself and kind of like perfecting them the best I can. I actually initially struggled with this first part, the very first tackle, which is 2M, 5H, and then Super Dash. And then after the Super Dash, you do a medium into a Ki Blast. I think it's like a very slight delay on the Ki Blast. And then almost immediately after the Ki Blast, just like the slightest bit of delay, you actually go for your first tackle. So I'm going to show you guys that now. So that's like almost perfect height to like follow up with the first jab. You almost want them to be above your jab initially. For me, that's the perfect height for my first tackle. Having it be lower than that kind of made it weird to combo them, and the timing is actually really easy because the first tackle is almost so immediate. Like, you don't really need to try that hard to time it. So I actually did that within a couple of tries after like just explaining that to you. Yeah, keeping them almost at that height, just above your jab or like around the height of your jab, actually made things weirdly easier for me. So as I said, the biggest thing that kind of helped me actually get the loop started was on the first repetition, the delay of the ki blast, and then the timing of the tackle. You want your ki blast to be fairly delayed, because that kind of makes them get more height than you, so that when you throw the ki blast, you'll be lower to the ground than they are. And then after you tackle pretty low, you want to tackle pretty low, you'll be able to reset with your jab. So the one thing I don't understand is sometimes in the loops with your lights, when you mash double light, and I would always mash, like there wasn't really much timing when I do my double lights. Sometimes it would track a little bit harder. Maybe I am doing something, fucking up the timing somehow. I mean, probably right, but like there was a very slight inconsistency with me mashing lights and it chasing a little bit more with auto combo, and then sometimes it'd be perfect. It's very much probably my timing, but yeah. Keeping them about that same height of your first initial tackle and your first jab is kind of what helped me kind of get the gears turning. Now, as you can see, he kind of did dip there, like about lower than the jab, right? You can kind of play around with this and like feather the timing a little bit. There have been some really weird interactions where on the double jab in the air, one jab didn't come out, so it's just one jab in the air, but I still ki blast and still got the tackle and still got my jab. So you can probably play around with this timing more than I think, and play around with this combo. Like, if you understand the mechanics, you can kind of like freestyle a little bit. Like, you know, maybe instead of two jabs in the air, you want to do one jab. As long as you understand the timing for your ki blast, I think it almost doesn't matter. So, out of what I found for the placement of my tackles, I found out that a good place to actually tackle was maybe about maybe like knee height. You can see on Hit and Goku that their knee height is probably about where I'd want the bottom of my tackle be, like right there, because it gives you enough. There's enough hit stun on it that the recovery frames from falling will like kind of match up fine. I don't know the science behind loops or anything like that, or hit stun or block stun or all that jazz. But I noticed that that was a pretty good height. So something that I'm even noticing just now is that you can kind of very slightly after your tackle hits, like very slightly delay the timing of your jab. For one, to make sure that you're on the ground, that your jab comes out, and two, so that your opponent or Hit in this instance like falls just like a little bit lower to actually hit your jab and get hit by the old hitbox there. So kind of something funny that came with me struggling to do these loops is when I started to make progress on controller, I would do a back and forth to hitbox to see if I had actually learned anything. And for the longest time, I actually wasn't making any progress with hitbox. I would only be able to get any kind of repetitions for controller. Also, it was kind of like this weird state of like wanting to settle with like a portion. So like I couldn't even get the first repetition of the loop for the longest time. Like, I struggled with just even this part right here. Like, just that part. I struggled with that for a hot while, and like when I started to get that down, I was considering it's just like, all right, well, this will be, you know, just the extent that I do. I'll incorporate this to my B&B. Like, I won't go any further than this. I'll just settle here. But I was learning these for like hours. I spent like, I don't know how many hours last night just like grinding this timing out, grinding the feeling out, and I'm still obviously not super comfortable with it. I'm still very much learning it. But obviously I spent so much time that like there was kind of like this back and forth. I was even considering switching to controller because I wasn't making any progress on hitbox. And as I said, like later, like after I kind of like mechanically understood things on controller, I tried to incorporate that like actual understanding into hitbox. And with that understanding, like because I'm able to hear these buttons and like I could get that rhythm. Now, if anyone understands these better than I do, which is very likely a lot of people, yeah, say some stuff in the comments. Like, if you have any tips for me or anyone that's struggling in the comments below, let them know. Like, help them out. So yeah, for a minute I was considering switching to controller, but here's the thing. Like, I started out as a controller player, but after I moved from control, I actually moved to just plain old stick. I enjoyed stick a lot. Stick was pretty fun to do. I was having my own problems and qualms with stick as well. And then I moved to hitbox. And playing on hitbox, for me personally, is so satisfying and so fun. I enjoy comboing in this game so much more than on controller. Stick is still, you know, pretty satisfying as well. But I feel a bit more precise with hitbox, personally. Some people, you know, they're stick fiends. Some people are controller fiends. It doesn't work for everyone. But for me, like, hitbox was kind of like the perfect fit. Obviously, you can learn these on anything. That goes without saying. I actually wanted to learn these. Like, I saw these a while ago, and I thought, oh, that was cool. But then I saw Hook use them. I saw Hook do the loops, and you know, he would do them so consistently, and I just kept on seeing them, and then like I was thinking like, damn, these look cooler and cooler. So yeah, eventually I decided like I gotta learn these. So I spent so much time like grinding out this combo, struggling to even get one repetition, and then when I did get that one repetition and I was kind of getting consistent with it, I was considering settling with that. It's like, alright, this one repetition, this will be my B&B. And then like I was just like, no, like I want to go further. I want to get that optimal damage. I want to see how much damage I could really put out with these. And then with that, like I was up so late that, you know, it was like 6 in the morning, something like that I was working on these. And you know, I don't even know if I was really understanding what I was doing because I was so tired and so sleep deprived. Like I hadn't gone to sleep yet. That like I was wondering if I was even going to remember this in the morning. I remember to make this video or whatever. But yeah, after like I really started to like understand the concepts of the delay on controller, I was like, all right, I got to switch to hitbox. I gotta learn this shit. I gotta grind it out. And now it's become like, you guys can even see it, like I'm doing it more consistently now. Yeah, it's for me, it was really about that delay of the key blast, like delaying it almost as much as possible to where they're above you, and then just getting that tackle timing of like about knee height, roughly. There is some leniency with it, like your timing doesn't have to be the most precise in the world, but you know, understanding just the delay of those two things like helped me considerably. Like I wouldn't even consider the timing of the lights, the double lights, to be that important. You know, obviously it keeps them where you want to be in the air so that the Ki Blast can get set up. But I'm mostly just doing like a double tap, like it's just that. It's not, I'm not full on mashing. I'm not like super precise timing with it. I'm just, and that's pretty much what kind of like put me over the edge, right? So I'm gonna do one more loop for you guys, and then I'm gonna bounce. Alright guys, well that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see more, check out the rest of the channel. In the description there's links to not just my channel, but my friends' channels as well. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace.